Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we've got a lady for you today who's an innovator. She changed the world of music, fashion, the way that ladies were regarded. She even changed the world of music. Mary Wilson is one of 3 of the original Supremes, and she's coming to the UK in October. She'll be appearing Saturday 3rd in London, 4th in Birmingham, and the 6th in Manchester. And she joins us live on the phone now from Las Vegas. Mary, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm lovely.
You are delicious, if you don't mind me saying. I love you.
Well, thank you so much. It's wonderful to, I love England. I love London. I can't wait to get there. I'm very excited, and I hope everyone is going to come out and see us too. This is a great time working with Miss Dionne Warwick and Roberta Flack. I mean, that's like heavy.
Yeah, the show's called Legends, and it truly is. And you're one of them. I guess there's no greater compliment than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I guess I'll be doing a lot of those Supreme songs. Our first #1 record over there was Baby Love in 1964 was it? I think.
Yeah, it was. I know you've said in the past that one of the greatest career moments for you was performing for the Royal Variety at the Command Performance. I mean, you love England, don't you?
I do. My children went to school there for a while when they were quite young, a long time ago.
Here's my dopiest question of the day. What's it like being you? Because your mind, you could start a conference. You've met so many people and achieved such greatness. It must be fun being you, Mary Wilson.
It is fun, and yet still I'm very normal. I'm one of those normal people. My daughter says, "Mom, you're not normal." I'm like, I am. But it's very exciting, because I've had it's like a Cinderella life. I've done so many great things, and yet still, I just do normal things. I'm with my grandchildren. I have 8 of those, and that's so fun. But yeah, done a lot of good things. So it's good being me. It's very exhausting. Have you gone on my website? It's very exhausting.
Yeah.
In fact, I just moved back from Atlantic City. I was there at doing one of the casinos there. It was so fun, so fun.
We're calling you today in Las Vegas. Do you still play Las Vegas?
Well, I do. I'll be there in January, I think, doing a show at there at the Suncoast. So I work there quite a bit, yes.
I guess for me, it's the greatest and last epitome of live entertainment. It's the place that sums up show business, and it's become cool again. People like Celine and Rod and Elton have made it a place to live, not to go and die, isn't it?
That's funny. Yeah. It still is one of the greatest places to perform. It's still very exciting, and it's not the old Vegas that it used to be, but it still is fun.
Let's go back to the beginning and talk about you as a child. I guess you were born with that voice. You can't be taught it, because the one word that sums you up is soul. You can't be taught soul, can you?
Well, I don't know. I guess, there are a lot of people making soulful records these days, but yeah, it was something that definitely born with. I remember the first time I ever did something really big was I was in the kindergarten, and I was put into a little glee club, and I guess I've been singing ever since then.
It's interesting when we look at your background. It wasn't one of privilege. It was one of somewhat poverty, but great love, and I think that's molded you into the person you are today.
Yeah, I have a great family life. And, we were poor. My mom couldn't read nor write, but the thing about it was I didn't know we were poor. I was always very happy. It was one of those things where even though you're born poor, love is very important, and I had a lot of that.
I've been going to Detroit for 30 years. I've got family in St. Clair Shores and around Roseville and those areas. It gets a bad rap, Detroit, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and it's not. It certainly is not the town, the city that we knew, back in the '60s. They're trying to come back. Detroit is definitely trying to come back, and I'm very proud of that. We'll be working there next year doing a symphony with the Detroit Symphony, and that's going to be a wonderful thing for Detroit as well. So yeah, they're trying to bring it back, and I'm part of that.
What is it like for you returning home to Detroit? Is it one of great memories? Let's face it, I think Detroit's greatest legacy will be Motown, won't it?
Well, you have the Cars and Motown, obviously. But then, no, there's some other things. Joe Louis was from there. Lots of great people are from Detroit. In fact, a friend of mine did a photography book, Coffee Table, and I was amazed at how many wonderful, great people have actually come from Detroit. It's but Motown is definitely one of its biggest exponents.
The passion for this music lives on, and as we can see, there's no sign that Motown is flagging. It's going to be up there with classical music. There's no sign of it ever dying, is there?
Yeah, it's definitely what we call standard music, American Great Songbook. But Motown is definitely a standard kind of phenomena that has happened to the world, and it'll be up there for a long time. I mean, I was in the airport yesterday, and I heard "Baby Love,"
Yeah.
So I wanted to run through the airport and say, "That's me," and I'm like, "Oh no, I better not do that."
Let's have a quiz. The greatest Motown song ever for me, probably "Stop in the Name of Love" or "Baby Love." Do you agree?
What's going on?
Really? Wow.
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, Marvin.
Yeah, but yeah, but you can say many of the Motown songs were the greatest songs.
Yeah, they're all so listenable, and for a guy on the radio, there's no better style of music to play. I think it's because of the rhythm, isn't it? How did they handpick such great talent? Was it down to Barry and his genius?
No. I mean, I think that what was great about Motown is that Barry had the eye and the ear for all of that stuff. But people migrated to Motown because, they heard about it. Someone said, "Man, you should come down to Motown." So it's like word of mouth thing. People were not really handpicked. But once you got there, you were given such great, like we had a class there called Artist Development, where they would teach us how to, to act and things of that nature. We had a part there where people would tell us how to sing. Mr. Maurice King was a great band leader, and he was the one who really had a lot to do with the music in terms of helping us with harmonies and things of that nature. Charlie Atkins was a great choreographer, so he would teach us all of our great moves. You mentioned "Stop in the Name of Love" and that one hand motion that we did.
Yeah.
So Charlie Atkins. So we had a lot of things other than music there at Motown that made it a great a company.
And of course, for you girls, the costumes and the sexiness and the allure was a big part of it. For guys, I mean, you got many of us through puberty, let's be honest.
Oh, really? I don't know if I could talk on that subject.
No, let's move on. I interviewed Frank Sinatra Jr. once, and I asked him if his father was a nice guy, and I got an interesting answer. I'm going to ask you the same question about Berry Gordy. Was he a nice guy or just a bit of an asshole when it came to business?
Well, Barry is one of those people who can be very stern, but he's also the kind of person that would hang out with all the male musicians and singers, and they'd be gambling sometimes, or they'd go out and play golf together. He loved to go out to see different shows. Now he is a wonderful guy, but he is a businessman, and as I said, a very stern kind of person when needed to be. So he was all of that. He was all of that. But I found him very fascinating. He and I used to have a couple run-ins every now and then because I had my own opinion of things, and he has his own opinion. In his mind, his opinion is more important. But a very likable person. I mean, very, very likable.
You can see Mary Wilson of the Supremes. She's going to be on Legends Live. You can get tickets at legendslive.org, appearing in London, Birmingham and Manchester the 3rd, 4th and 6th of October. So when we look at the music and the legacy, I guess for you, it doesn't get any bigger than the Supremes. Was there ever a jealousy with Diana? Because there's always got to be one standout star. And although you're a name in your own right, people have made a lot of that over the years, haven't they?
Yeah, and it is something I have to say that the three of us were very close, and possibly sisters, really sister-like, that kind of relationship. However, once you get into this business, and especially show business, things do change. But I would never ever say there was jealousy between us. Never, ever, ever. But there were other things that would happen, in terms of the business situations and things you wanted to do, things you did not want to do, and as it grows and grows, it becomes more important that you had to do. You got to wake up early, you got to do interviews, you got to wear this, you got to wear that. So that became moments when it was a little difficult to just do what you wanted to do. Maybe some, not arguments, but disagreements, but never, ever was there jealousy. No.
Have you managed to maintain a friendship with Diana?
I wouldn't say the kind of friendship I would like, but we definitely still talk. But it's not like it used to be. We're not calling each other every day.
Yeah.
Because listen, we started singing together when we were like 13 years old.
Yeah.
So we went through those times when we would call each other when we had new boyfriends and new dress and new this and all those kind of things. But hey, 70 years old now, so our lives are different.
What an incredible life. When you watch those videos in black and white of those original performances, is it like watching one of your grandkids? Can you even recognize that person?
I don't really watch it. There was a compilation of Ed Sullivan TV shows that was put out recently, and I watched that with one of my grandchildren, and she said to me, she said, "Grandma, what happened to the color?"
So, it must be very strange when you see yourself, because, it was 60 years ago, some of those videos.
Well, it doesn't, because I still feel the same. I still feel like I'm 16 years old.
Wow.
And like I say, I really don't sit around listening to myself a lot. I really, really don't.
Well, you should, because you're amazing.
Well, you know what? I'm still having fun.
Yeah.
I'm still having fun, and coming to England is really going to be another highlight of my life. So if you can look forward to your life with still happiness and fun, you don't have to sit back and look back all the time to your old self. You're still having fun now. Well,
and the great thing is your music's still relevant, and I think when you look out at these huge arenas, you do know how big these venues are, don't you?
I know, and I don't play a lot of big venues. I do a lot of jazz clubs and things of that nature, so that's why this is still going to be a really big, exciting moment for me to do Wembley. How many people can say they're doing that? The more people, the merrier. So I can put that on my resume too.
Well, and I think the demographic of people will be very interesting, because kids love Motown as much as people who heard it the first time around. It's ongoing, this music. I think it's going to be really interesting to see the crowd.
I cannot wait. I'm excited.
When do you leave and when do you start rehearsals?
Well, I'm working in Branson, Missouri a week before that, so I'm going to fly directly from there. And so I leave actually on the 1st.
Wow.
I won't finish Branson until just before I fly out to London.
Mary, what's it like waking up in the morning and you've got a little cough or a croak and you might not sound like Mary Wilson?
Well, it sounds pretty much like right now, because it's only 8 o'clock here. But I have to start working on my voice. Hot water, lemon, honey, and tea, green tea, and all that kind of stuff and vocalize. I have to do a lot of vocalesis. And it can be quite scary.
I guess so, especially when you stood next to someone like Jagger or Ringo Starr or Harrison. You did all these people over your career. Who was the one who you pinched yourself the most and thought, I can't believe I'm on stage with this guy or lady?
Well, Tom Jones has always been one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But we work with a lot of people. Dak Lena Horne, Nancy Wilson. I just spoke with Nancy Wilson the other day. Many of them. Pearl Bailey. There was just Sammy Davis Jr. Just wonderful. Most of my friends are entertainers. So what can I say? They all were great.
Did you get to work with Sinatra?
Yes.
Wow.
Only once, but I met him on many occasions, especially there in Vegas.
Was it intimidating or was it thrilling?
It was thrilling because, at the time he was the man, on top of the world. So, it was very wonderful. You're meeting people like Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis, Lena Horne. They were, when I was growing up, they were the major stars. So, yes, it was very thrilling.
There seems something depressing to me today about show business. It somehow doesn't seem as credible as it did in your day. What's your take on the pop stars, particularly female pop stars, who seem to think that getting your boobs out is more important than having a great voice?
Well, it's a different generation. And I think our generation and the generation before us, before the 60s, were very professional people. So show business had a different, it just felt different. Now I believe it's more about the money and about, the showy kind of thing. But still they're making more money than any of us ever made in our lives, and we were making big money back then.
Yeah.
So it is all about what you just mentioned, and I guess that's, it's the younger generation. They have a new mindset. So I guess for them it's great. For us, it's not as exciting. We've been there, done that. Hey, I was seeing some of the gowns and things they were wearing. I'm like, we did that in the 60s. Some of the things they're doing now, we did that way back when. We opened many doors for what they're doing today. So, I look at them and I'm proud that they're able to carry on, but I'm glad that I came along when I came along.
What would be your advice to any of the girls starting out today? Is it great management? What is the way to succeed and have longevity like you have?
I'm thinking of starting a school like we had at Motown to give good answers to people who are out there, because I do believe that once they get a little older, they start having children, they'll cover up a little bit more, perhaps. They won't be as kind of whatever they're being, because you do have to, I think we have a lot to show to our children, how to grow up. And when you're in front of the world showing all your assets, I think it's a little demeaning. So, I would probably say just think about your children and the children that are looking at you and what you want them to carry on exactly like you. So, it's okay to be young, and I think to be young, I did some crazy things. It's okay, because that's the time when you do those things. Mm-hmm. But you can't give it all. Don't give it all. So, that's my little advice.
If you were to chart the top 3 things that happened in your career, or moments or places that you performed, what would they be?
Well, you know what? I'm not just saying it because I'm talking to you, but going to London, England, was one of the most exciting things I had ever done in my life. Still remains very, very high on my chart. But of course, having the first number 1 record back in 1964 was definitely one of the first, because at that time, as black people in America, we weren't looked upon as being very much. And when we got that number 1 record, we became international stars, around the world. That was probably one of the first as well. But, then having my children is the miracle of my life. I just adore having children. I have 3 beautiful children and 8 grandchildren. And I still think that is one of the miracles of life, and just love it.
And they'll be there forever, and whether the business comes and goes, for you it's stayed. Family's everything, isn't it? Because at the times when you're at your lowest, the family need to be there to save you. Yeah,
the family has always been very important to me. I just love that. And then the career is now 50-some years. It's a phenomenon. I can't believe I was one of these Supremes, and now I am Mary Wilson. That is really a miracle.
Yeah. And you're still at it, and you're still sounding as good. How is the voice?
Well, the voice is still good. In fact, I think it's probably better than ever.
Wow.
And we'll let the audiences in London and Birmingham and Manchester decide. We'll see what the reviews are like.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be there and come and see you in Birmingham. I cannot wait. I suppose for you, standing on a stage is really the most thrilling part of your life. Was that the bit you look forward to, or was it the studio?
No, on stage. I love being on stage. But see, the studio is another thing, too, because that's where you hone your talents. You know, that's like going to school when you're in the studio. But being in front of the audience is where the thrill. I mean, you wait for those moments. I mean, I don't care how hard this career can be or show business can be. Once you're on that stage, all of that melts away.
Yeah.
And you are in heaven. I mean, that's, to me, heaven is definitely on stage.
Can I make you nervous now? I mean, you came over here and did Paul O'Grady and Graham Norton a couple of years back. I know back in the day, Johnny Carson was bigger than them all, Ed Sullivan, people like that. What were the moments where you thought, oh my God, I've got to really put it out here and do a good job?
Well, you know, we did the London, what is the name of that? Oh, I can't.
The Raw Variety.
Well, that was definitely one of the greatest ones. But Talk of the Town.
Oh yes, yeah.
That was for us very exciting because you see, everybody who was a star and was there. I mean, we had people, you know, like Paul McCartney came there, Sharon Tate, Michael. His face, I can't think of it. Everybody was there, and so that was quite. It was really big because it was live, and all these people came backstage, and they were, you know, talking to us. It was wonderful. That was one of my proudest moments, other than the royal performance at the Palladium. Yes.
And for you musically, how difficult is it to recreate these numbers? Are they testing when we look at Baby Love or Where Did Our Love Go or Nathan Jones?
Yeah, you know, as Diane did sang all the leads on the songs, they're definitely, I'm like second generation singing them, you know, so it's not just like the records because of that. But I am authentic since I was, you know, one of the Supremes to sing them. So it's nothing, it would be, if you heard Diane singing them, it would be like perfect. With me, it was second to being perfect, and it still is quite good.
You're very humble, and you shouldn't be, because you've had an extraordinary life and a remarkable career. I wonder for you, the one song that if you had to sing a final song as you walk up to the gates of St. Peter, what would it be?
No complaints, no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams.
Beautiful.
And placing bets. Here's to Life is one of my most favorite songs. But, of course, you were talking about a Supreme song. Okay.
No, I'm happy for that. That sounds good enough to me. Do you know, I have such great admiration for you, people who can just do it. You could stand in a room with no microphone and thrill an audience, and that, to me, is the true test of a star. And
well, that's nice. Thank you.
I mean it, and I can't wait to see you. The Legends Live is the tour coming to the UK 3rd of October at London, the Sunday the 4th in Birmingham at the Barclaycard Arena, and Manchester Arena on Tuesday the 6th. You can get tickets by going to legendslive.org, and you've got a website as well where people can find out about you. Put in Mary Wilson into Google and it'll come up. I want to thank you for the music and the memories, because you've been on my radio show almost every day for my entire career, and for that I love you very much. I can't wait to see you, Mary. Thank you so much for your time.
Come back and say hi.
I will do.
Okay.
Lots of love.
Bye-bye.